Assalamu alaikum. This is Btv-Chattogram welcoming you to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the top stories. People return to cities as offices, courts, and banks resume after Eid holidays. Media working independently without government pressure, says Information and Broadcasting Minister. Official probe report on 6 newborn deaths to be submitted June 3rd, informs Health Minister. Blast in Myanmar village near Chinese border kills 55 and injures dozens more. And Bangladesh secured 2-0 victory against Chinese Taipei in Women's Under-18 Asia Cup hockey in Japan. Viewers, those were the top stories. Now moving on to the details. After the 7 days Eid-ul-Adha holiday, government and private offices, courts, banks, insurance companies, and the stock market reopened today. City residents are returning to work after spending the long holiday with their families. On the first working day after Eid, normal activities resumed at offices, courts, banks, and business establishments across the country and capital. Officials said it may take a couple of days for activities to return to full pace. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman attended office at the Secretariat today after the Eid break and arrived at his office in the morning. Banking operations remained normal, although the number of customers was lower than usual. Bank officials said business activity is expected to increase in the coming days. Traffic on the capital's main roads remained manageable in the morning, but vehicle movement gradually increased after noon. Public transport also saw a significant number of passengers. The capital is gradually returning to normal. Regular activities have started again, and the city is slowly getting back to its usual busy routine. The number of people returning to the capital has increased as bus terminals and railway stations following the end of the Eid-ul-Adha holiday. Many passengers said they felt relieved because there was less traffic on the roads after their long journey back to Dhaka. However, some complained about high transport fares and tiring travel experiences. At the same time, many people are still leaving the capital for their village homes as the holiday mood continues for some families. Transport operators has said that the pressure of passengers heading to Dhaka is expected to increase further over the next couple of days. Along with buses, a large number of working people are also returning by train. Many passengers prefer rail travel because it is more comfortable and convenient. A significant crowd of Dhaka-bound passengers was seen at Kamlapur railway station. Railway authorities said necessary preparations have been taken to handle the post-Eid passenger rush and efforts are underway to maintain train schedules. Although offices and businesses have reopened, travel pressure has not yet fully eased. Authorities expect bus terminals and railway stations to remain busy for the next few days as more holidaymakers return to the capital. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zahiruddin Shapun has said that the media in the country is operating freely and that the government is not exerting any form of pressure on news organizations. He made the remarks this morning while speaking with journalists at his office in the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. The minister said that no form of terrorist or violent activity targeted mainstream media organizations will be tolerated. Referring to recent attacks on media professionals, he said that the organizations in the government's position is one of zero tolerance towards such incident. The investigation report on the deaths of 6 newborns at Adin Hospital in the capital's Moghbazar will be submitted on 3rd June. Health and Ministry and Families Welfare Minister Sharda Mohammad Shawkat Hussain revealed the information this morning while speaking to journalists at the Secretariat. The minister said that the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has formed a 3-member investigation committee to look into the incident. He added that necessary actions will be taken based on the findings of the committee's report. Today is World Milk Day. The observance officially began with children drinking milk at the premises of the Department of Livestock Services. To mark the day, various programs are being held in the capital, including colorful rallies and seminars. State Minister for Fisheries and Livestock Sultan Salahuddin Tuku attended the event as the chief guest. At a seminar titled Women Dairy Farmers Advancing Development Through Milk Production, the keynote paper was presented by Dr. Boizar Rahman, Director of Administration of the Department of Livestock Services. Speaking at the seminar, State Minister Sultan Salahuddin Tuku said that Bangladesh aims to reduce its dependence on imports of dairy products and that the government is working to increase domestic milk production. The State Minister said that if collections initiatives and effective coordinated efforts continue, the country will soon achieve its goal of full self-sufficiency in milk production. On the occasion, the Veterinary Doctors Association of Bangladesh, VDAB, distributed packaged milk among poor and underprivileged people. The seminar, chaired by Samjahan Khan, Director General of the Department of Livestock Services, was also addressed by Imam Uddin Kabir, Additional Secretary of the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock. Prime Minister's advisor and BNP Senior Joint Secretary General Advocate Ruhul Kabir Rizvi has said that the Prime Minister Tariq Rahman has never bowed to any aggressive force and will never do so. He made the remarks today while speaking at a food distribution program among poor and helpless people at the BNP's Noya Bolton Central Office. Nationalist rickshaw, van and auto drivers dal, organized by the function on the occasion of the 45th martyrdom anniversary of late President Ziaur Rahman. Rizvi said that bot groups of some political parties are spreading propaganda and false information against the government. He also said that the BNP-led government is a government that creates employment and it will expand job opportunities through various initiatives. Nationalist rickshaw, van and auto drivers dal Governor Ashraful Islam Sharkar Monu presided over the function, while Dhaka South City Corporation Administrator Abdus Salam and other leaders were also present. Following the national election, the next major topic of discussion in the country's political arena is the upcoming local government elections. From union boardshots to municipalities, upazilas, and city corporations, local government elections involve the selection of leaders who are directly connected to people's daily lives. The Election Commission EC says that two final decisions has been made or yet been made and regarding which elections will be held first and which will follow. However, it maintains that it is fully prepared and capable of conducting the elections. The EC Secretary stated that the Commission views the experience gained from the recently held national parliamentary election as a significant advantage. Many of the necessary materials, including additional ballot boxes purchased for that election, remain unavailable and ready for use. The Commission noted that since local government elections are conducted in phases, there is little concern about a shortage of election equipment. Nevertheless, it has begun collecting region-based information to assess whether there are any deficiencies at the field level. He also said that as with the national election, artificial intelligence possesses a major challenge for the Election Commission in local government elections. To address this challenge, there are plans to reactivate the special teams that worked during the national election. As political parties and stakeholders gradually begin preparing for the local government polls, the Election Commission's biggest challenge will be ensuring that the elections are free, participatory, and credible. However, since the round of local government elections will not be held on a party basis, it is expected that voters will be available and be able to cast their ballots in a different atmosphere with an even more festive environment. Now, international news. At least 55 people have died in an explosion at an ammunition store controlled by a rebel army in northeast Myanmar near the border with China, the militia said. The blast is said to have damaged around 200 homes in Kong That and another 100 in the nearby Panlon village. The Tang National Liberation Army TNLA, which controls the area and has been fighting the military junta, said explosives kept in a warehouse for use in local mining operations had ignited, causing the blast. An investigation is underway to determine how the military and material was detonated, the group said. President Donald Trump has said that Iran really wanted to make a deal with the U.S. and that it would be a good one for Washington and its allies. Donald Trump urged his critics to sit back and relax in a post on Truth Social early on Monday, saying that it would all work out well in the end. His post came hours after the U.S. military said it struck Iranian military sites at the weekend, and Iran's Revolutionary Guards IRGC said that they had targeted a U.S. base in response, the latest in a series of exchanges and negotiations to end the 3-month-long-old war. U.S. Central Command CENTCOM said it launched self-defense strikes in response to aggressive Iranian actions, which it said included a U.S. drone being shot down over international waters. IRGC said it had targeted an airbase used by U.S. forces for an attack on southern Iran without specifying the location. Meanwhile, Kuwait, which hosts a U.S. base, said its air defense system was confronting hostile missile and drone attacks without providing further detail. Iran's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghei says Iran has a right to carry out retaliatory strikes on regional bases and assets used to wage attacks against it after Kuwait reported a series of missile and drone attacks. The strikes mark the latest exchange between the two sides after negotiations on a deal to end their month-long war failed to advance over the weekend, with U.S. media reporting President Trump had requested changes to its terms. The changes are related to the Strait of Hormuz shipping channel and the removal of highly enriched uranium. On the other hand, Iran's chief negotiator Mohammad Baghei Khalilov has said on Sunday that Tehran would not agree to any deal unless Iran's rights were fully secured. Israel has shifted to a broader ground offensive across multiple axes in southern Lebanon to establish control over a self-declared buffer zone. Lebanon's President Joseph Aoun said that his country is going through difficult times due to intense Israeli attacks, stressing that Beirut is continuing with steps toward restoring the state and rebuilding its institutions. Aoun added that Lebanon is continuing to work to end the suffering of civilians in general and those in the South in particular, in addition to working on building the state and achieving reform and justice. Several Arab countries, including Qatar and Jordan, condemned Israel's offensive as a dangerous escalation, while France sought an emergency meeting of the United Nations Security Council over the issue after President Emmanuel Macron held talks with Saudi, Oman, UAE, and Egyptian leadership. Meanwhile, Israel has proposed a gradual southwards withdrawal of its troops and a reduction of its security zone in Lebanon, contingent on how effectively the Lebanese army disarms Hezbollah, according to Israeli public broadcaster Khan. Israeli officials told Khan that a full withdrawal would not happen as long as there is a threat. The report came as the U.S. seeks a de-escalation in Lebanon, where Israeli forces has seized the strategic Beaufort Castle in the deepest incursion into Lebanese territory in 26 years. Now, sports news. Hockey. Bangladesh secured a historic 2-0 victory against Chinese Taipei in Pool B of the ongoing Women's Under-18 Asia Cup Hockey at Kakamigahara in Japan. Bangladesh completely neutralized the Japanese Taipei attack from the starting whistle. Kana Akhtar broke the deadlock in the 29th minute by converting a clinical penalty corner. Irene Ria doubted the advantage in the 56th minute with a brilliant field goal to guarantee 3 points. This remarkable triumph marks a significant roundabout for the team.